Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a follow-up for our first Switch 2 conversation. That was more than a month ago now, ahead of the Switch 2 launch. Just kind of discussing our thoughts going into it. So I thought, a lot of people really enjoyed that, and I'd bring everyone back along with a wrinkle, which is RGT85.
Lots of wrinkles.
I have very nice skin for my age. Okay. Mystic Ryan didn't know how old I was.
It must just be the camera. You might need to get a new one.
I'm using a webcam.
That would be it. Yeah.
How old did he think you were?
He said he thought I was in my early 30s. I said, thank you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, actually. Okay.
It's not bad.
Well, Sean's here with us. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Hello. And of course, the originals here with me at the panel. We have Woodhawker, Beatemups, Nintendo podcast founder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was one of them.
He's one of them. Good to have Wood here. And of course, we have Scott, Scott the Waz, also a big Apple fanatic. I saw that the podcast, the show pop up recently on there with some other big Apple names. How's it going, Scott?
I wouldn't say I'm a fanatic. I use Apple devices, which makes me.
How many iMacs you got?
Probably about 9.
Jesus, why?
I buy them for my guys. They edit my videos.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, all right. Whatever. I played 3 Nintendo Switch 2 games.
That's a lot. Well, yeah, I was gonna say 3 Switch 2 specific games.
Yeah,
like for the platform. Okay, I'm trying to think. That's about. I think that's about right. Unless you went like off the rails and bought every game like Wood did here.
I almost said
every game.
I almost said, well, I played them all, but I didn't want to be that guy. I don't want to get judged by Scott this early in the episode.
No, you know what? To be fair, I think I'd done 3.1 because I played about 30 seconds of Fast Fusion.
Yeah, you're pretty much the same as me then.
Yeah. I need to play more, but I just remembered I did boot it up for a second.
How many copies of Street Fighter you got, Wood?
Still only 3, unfortunately. I'm eyeing down a 4th. I just got to go pick it up.
I didn't see the lore around that. Why did you end up with so many?
Do you really care? Does anybody really care?
I'm interested.
Why I have 3? It's so boring. It takes a minute to explain.
That's fine.
Is it?
Okay, here we go. You guys asked for it. So you know how they did the pre-orders online that night that everyone was trying to get the Switch pre-order?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I panicked not knowing what kind of games I would get. Is that my phone?
Someone has an emergency.
That's my phone. Hold on.
Emergency warning. The nukes are incoming.
Management agency?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's experiencing a statewide intermittent 911 outage. Oh. So you can't call 911? All right. Well, no one.
Oh, wow.
No one do anything to me. I've never seen that.
Anything can happen now.
We had a tornado warning the other day. We had to hide in the basement. All right. Sorry. So I panic ordered a bunch of games not knowing what I would get on launch. I didn't know like what it would be like, and I got Street Fighter in that. And then when I went to GameStop, I guess I pre-ordered it there too. And then when I went to GameStop, they didn't have all of their FedEx shipments in on time. They only had half of it. So they gave me half of my games and they said, come back tomorrow. And the next day I went back and they go, okay, here's your other half. And I'd already paid for it. And I realized, they gave me 2 Street Fighters. So I accidentally stole a Street Fighter from GameStop when I got home. Then the one I ordered, the pre-order, that ended up getting delivered. I forgot, and then I ended up with 3. Is that what everybody wanted to hear? At the start of this episode?
Yeah.
A fun anecdote?
It's a fun running gag. It's fun to keep up with.
Now that I've explained it, it's ruined. But my favorite thing is when people would say, why do you have 3? I would just say, because I haven't bought a 4th yet.
Why don't you is a good question.
But now it's wrong. Right? Now everyone knows the reason. Can we talk about the Switch 1 month later?
Yeah.
Can we get going, please?
Yeah, it's been more than a month now for the Switch 2, but that did at least give us a chance to get through things like Tony Hawk. Sean's playing a demo for a game, and then next week we have Donkey Kong Bonanza coming up. So I thought it'd be fun to get back together after a month and see how everyone feels about Nintendo's new generation that just started. So Scott, you mentioned you've played 3.1. We'll just start with 3 Switch 2 games. Which ones did you play?
I'll give you a guess. Go for it. What do you think?
Mario Kart. Yeah, I know that because I see you on
Yakuza
I see
Zero.
you online.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
I've played Yakuza 0.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, wait,
I
why'd you pick that
know
one?
you booted up Clubhouse 51. No?
Oh,
Oh
wow.
no.
I did not. You know what I tried with the 4K update is New Super Mario Brothers U because I thought that would be funny, and it looks like New Super Mario Brothers U. It's definitely hey, you know what? The update does look kind of nice. I will at least.
Yeah, it's actual like native 4K now.
Yeah.
Like Digital Foundry went over it and found that it was just straight up 4K, no upscaling or anything.
I mean, like, the colors really pop with that game. It's still New Super Mario Brothers, so it's nothing special. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of neat that got an update. I mean, like, it's kind of neat that pretty much any game can get an update, I guess. But I tried that. Oh no! I played Breath of the Wild.
I was about to ask if you played either of the Zeldas. I
mean, like, I think the Switch 2 editions, it's almost like I don't even really consider them to be actual Switch 2 games, but they are. So I've tried those, but I wanted to try out some third-party games, so I did buy Street Fighter 6 as well. I just haven't opened it yet. I started with Yakuza 0 because I was more interested in trying Yakuza 0 because I've already played Street Fighter 6. It's cool. I mean, like, it definitely takes a little bit to get started, and overall I wouldn't say I was like deeply impressed by it. It runs good on the Switch too, but it's not like, it's obviously like a bit of an older PS4 game.
Yeah.
I don't really think this game feels like, wow, this is like one of those impossible ports, especially considering we got Yakuza Kiwami on Switch 1, even though that is a remake of a PS2 game, but still. Yakuza 0 does at least feel like if they worked on it, they could have gotten a port to Switch 1, but we don't have to worry about like a crunchy ass port there. It's just, it looks and runs pretty good on Switch 2. And I think it's also cool that like this director's cut's like a timed exclusive. So it's just like, they added some stuff. Apparently 0 didn't have an English dub before this port. So, it's kind of neat. Mario Kart's Mario Kart. I don't really think I'm going to break any minds with my opinion on it. It's a very good game. And then Switch 2 Welcome Tour is Switch 2 Welcome Tour.
I still haven't played that game at all. I mean, the instruction manual, I haven't played it.
I didn't buy it.
I bought it. I played it. It's not great.
No,
I've thought about
it's
it.
not a
$10.
game. It's
I'm
not
like,
a great game, but it's kind of neat.
It'd be neat if it was free, which I know is a tired sentiment, but I still have gripes with it. I hate that you can't just like beeline to a mini game or to a part of like the controller on the right. You have to like do a little tour of everything first. You have to look at every single button on the left Joy-Con before it lets you move over to the screen.
Dumb.
Yeah, they lock you out. It's like, I don't know, it's so silly. But oh my god, cat, let's go.
Was that a Maine Coon cat? That thing looked huge.
He's a big bastard.
I have one of those too.
Sean, you played Yakuza 0, but you didn't like it? It didn't click with you?
I think the combat is too fast.
Okay. See, I thought you would have, because this would have been like your first real
His
shot at
reflexes are slowing down, don't forget.
No, it's just
the wrinkles.
I just feel like it needs to be like 10% slower, and I think I would enjoy it more. It's just like a sped up beat 'em up, and it's like, you don't get to really soak in the cool moves that you're doing because it just goes at such a breakneck pace.
I thought the Yakuza franchise would have clicked more with you, because some people do see it with like a lot of like similarities and comparisons to even Shenmue, because one of the supervisors is the producer of Yakuza. I've always tied it more to like Sleeping Dogs personally. Like as it's gone on and Sleeping Dogs popped up, I'm like, okay, I kind of see it there. But that's just, I thought when you said I'm picking up Yakuza 0, I was like, oh, that might just send you down this massive rabbit hole of the Yakuza series, because I've recently talking about Shenmue so much.
Yeah, I played them on the PS2 back in the day. I don't really remember much about them. But I mean, it's not a bad game. I just don't think it's a game that really clicked with me, but I could see why people would enjoy it. Maybe the newer ones are a little bit more refined. And I was very disappointed in the arcade, because the arcade games were pretty much the games from Shenmue 1. And I was like, I thought they were known for having like all these crazy arcade games. And then I looked and it was like Yakuza 8 Kiwami Sailor Edition has, you know, the cool games on it. I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
I mean, you have so many in front of you now, like what they just did Infinite Wealth. So you got to go back you got to go through 8 Yakuza games or something, you know?
I'm good on that.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. Okay. What about you, Wood? What games stood out to you so far?
I mean, I think a big one that no one's mentioned is Cyberpunk. I've definitely put a lot of time into that.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I played more than I thought I did. Never mind. Yeah.
What did you, well,
Sean like beat the game almost or something with it too. All you guys really.
I'm at the last mission, but I'm doing all the side story stuff instead.
So I off the rip started doing the side stuff because I've beaten the game before, and there was a lot of side content that I just skipped the first time. So yeah, I'm going back through and doing all of that, and I mean, I'm really impressed by the port. Like, I'm shockingly impressed. There are times like when it's raining super heavy and you're blasting down the street in a car that the resolution starts to crush a bit. A lot of those like rain effects sort of put a lot of strain on the system, I think. But generally, just like walking around or on combat, or especially when you like load into a mission and you're actually like in a building and it's not trying to render out a whole world, it is pretty damn impressive how great that game looks and how good it runs. And the aspect of being able to play it portably, like sit in bed while Kim's watching TV and I'm there just working away on some Cyber Psycho missions or whatever, I'm enjoying it more than the first time I played it. So that's definitely been a big one for me.
I did all the Cyber Psycho missions already.
I don't think I did any the first time. I think I missed them all. I don't remember them.
When you get Silverhand's gun, it's so easy. Like, my character is just like so OP. Like, I'm just like, all right, hi, let me shoot you a couple times. Thank you.
Yeah,
goodbye.
I'm really OP for the story missions now. I got those Mantis blades pretty early on, and they have this new skill tree that they didn't have before. And I'm just pumping all of my stat points into the Mantis blades and going crazy.
Oh, from the update 2.0.
Yeah.
Was there another big update coming too? Is that going to be?
Yeah, it got delayed, but it's on the way. There's so many little things. Like you'll be driving around and Johnny will pop up in the car next to you, and he'll be like, "Hey V," and I'm like, I don't remember that happening. And I checked the patch notes, and that was another new thing. So yeah, they've definitely added a lot. You know, car chases when you're just driving around the world, like a enemy little camp you could drive by will start chasing you, and they actually have AI for driving now. It's just little things that help fill out the world a little bit more. I don't think it's been fixed to the point where I wanted it to be to begin with, but it definitely feels like more of a game now.
Yeah, when it first came out, it was disastrous.
It was pretty abysmal,
to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I played through it back then. You had to use I'd use the PS5, who's got 60 frames, but it was still missing a bunch of.
What do you want to talk about next?
There it is. Look at it.
Scott is just so unimpressed. His head started shaking already.
I bought all the physicals. I recently got the actual physical games. I got Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and that Rune Factory game.
Did you play Rune Factory? Rune Factory didn't really gel with me.
Not yet. I'll try it out.
I'm sure it's good.
I've been chipping away.
It didn't really hit me. But the game is on the cart for that one. That's actually like the only third-party game, I think, right? That's actually on the cart. There might be one more, other than Cyberpunk, which is the obvious.
What's the is that the one I'm thinking of? The one that had both the Switch 1 and the Switch 2 version on it?
Yeah, that's actually the
Guardians
Switch 1 version on it by default, and then once you stick it in your Switch, it'll download like a 20-minute update. At least it was for me, which will
here's the interesting thing about that. Here's the interesting thing about that, Wood. So the situation with this, apparently, because they had to issue a statement, is both versions are on the cartridge, but when you pop it in, what happens is it tries to download every update, and it happens apparently with Switch 1 games too. Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe runs into this,
so it's not downloading the Switch 2 version.
It does, but it doesn't need it. So it's some weird bug or something. Yeah, they had to issue a statement on that because I had questions too. Since the idea
does that mean it's just filling up empty gigs?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes. Yeah. So they need to fix that. Both versions are apparently on the cartridge, but if for some reason it does that down.
Oh, well, that's even more awesome then. I mean, it sucks it's having that weird glitch, but that's actually really cool. I wish every game was like this.
Yes. Yeah. So it's apparently having both there. It's good to see that, but that is kind of an issue that people have clearly been harping about with the Switch 2, which are those game key cards, or even just download only. It's a code in a box.
Hogwarts could have done
fiction.
You could have had the Switch
oh.
1 and Switch 2 version on there.
Yes.
I heard there's a funny thing with Hogwarts. Like,
Yes,
if you get the
I know what
Switch
you're
1
gonna say.
game and then you buy the Switch 2 upgrade, it just downloads the Switch 2 version, so you don't need the Switch 1 game at all anymore. You can just sell it.
Or you can
Really?
you could borrow. So like if I didn't have it, let's say, and Scott lent me his copy and I put it in my Switch, and then I for $10 bought the upgrade and then gave him his copy back, I just have the upgrade now.
Oh, that's weird.
That's cool though. I don't know if it's a mistake or what, but
It's a mistake.
Go to your local
GameStop,
GameStop, pick up a used copy, and it's like, hey, you know what? Not my cup of tea.
it's a $10 Switch 2 game. I mean, it's Hogwarts, so gotta get your head around that one. But
that was a game that's all clear improvements across the board.
Oh,
so
massive. That was the only reason I bought it, really. It's just I wanted to compare it because it was the best direct comparison to a Switch 1 game that had just released, that was pushing the Switch 1 to its limits to see. And it's way better. It's actually crazy better, the work they did to that port. I mean, not even in like the frame rates and the visuals and all of that, but the Switch 1 version, they had to do so many workarounds to make the open world actually work. So the game in its normal state on other consoles, you'll be in the open world, you'll go into a cave, right? And that's all seamless. You'll be in Hogwarts, you'll go into the next room, the door's open and you walk in, that's all seamless. The Switch 1 version, they did load screens. So you walk into a cave, it loads into the cave. All the doors in Hogwarts are closed in every room because you have to wait behind a loading screen for the door to open up. And more than anything, all the upgrades. I think that's the biggest upgrade, is the Switch 2 version is fully open, just like it is everywhere else. They didn't have
feels like an actual connected open world.
Yeah, they didn't have to do all the load screens, feeling like a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, so I played the Zelda games mostly, just fire them up and see how they run, and they run significantly better. But after playing so many hours in the Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, it's like, do I want to go back and do this again? It's like, I see how much better it is. Great for people who haven't played it, which I was a little surprised how many people were on like X or other social media who said, I didn't play Zelda. I could play it now for the first time. Like, man, really? This is
I wish that was the first way I played it, but you're right. I did every side mission possible in Tears of the Kingdom, and I just don't really have motivation to play through it again.
Before I played Breath of the Wild on Switch 2, I wanted to try the Switch 1 version on Switch 2 before it upgraded over. And at least that version also runs better. It's like at a pretty rock solid 30, I think. But this whole thing has made me just like this giant frame rate snob. I don't like what I've become. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I got a new 4K capture card, and now these files are stupid. And I'm just trying to like get everything to be as perfect as it possibly can. And
I feel like the snobbiness makes sense when we're talking about the leap from 30 to 60. I mean, I don't think that's snobby. That's just wanting your games to run well finally. I think snobbiness is when you start caring about 120, 240 or higher. Like that's what
if you played Switch 2 Welcome Tour, you would see that there's not really much of a difference between 60 and 120.
That is actually the hardest mini game to beat in that whole thing, because the 12 frames, 24 frames, 30 frames, that's also easy to pick, but the difference between 60 and 120, it's a crapshoot.
So what's the mini game exactly that they try to quiz you on?
There's a balls. It goes across so you get two, right? And it starts easy. There'll be one that's like stuttering the whole way, and then one that's really smooth. It's actually funny to watch Twitch streamers that don't really see frame rates that well. I was watching someone, I'm not going to out them. There was a 60 and like a 12 or a 24, and they were like, how am I supposed to tell? I was like, really? You can't? Those ones to me are pretty easy and obvious, but the 60 to 120, when those two balls come by, it's a guessing game.
So I think you don't control them. It shows you basically a video. So my thing is 60 to 120 is more of a feel thing rather than visually seeing it.
You have to be controlling and playing.
Yes.
And you feel, you're right. I agree.
Like I can tell that you can feel the difference. I think in like when we play Call of Duty, I think I can feel the difference more so there between 60 and 120 versus.
That's a great point. I've actually never thought about that, because like I used to see 60 and 120 on Gameplay Online, and I always thought that like, this is back before I started playing 120 games on PC. And I was like, man, that difference is negligible. But I remember the first time I played a game in 120, I think it was Gears of War 5 or something in 120. And it's an immediate feeling. You're like, oh, this is what the future is like. Like it feels
it's just more
crazy.
responsive. Like your reticule moves around. It seems like it's just much more responsive to every move you do. So I think in something like Splatoon 4, whenever that happens, I think that could be an aha moment for people with 60 to 120, with just having to spin around and move your reticule quickly, especially if it's mouse controls. The higher frame rate there would help with that movement too.
Yeah.
But
You think
if they're showing you a ball going across the screen, this would be very difficult to notice 60 to 120. So I get that.
I think they even did. I think, do they drop some 90s? I think they might drop some 90s and 120s.
Man, who knows, man? I think you got deeper in this game than I did. I just remember.
Well, they get harder. Like as you get
soccer balls, yeah.
As you do the mini game, they get harder and harder. They add in more challenges.
You check it with Metroid.
Oh
So
yeah.
were you theorizing that Splatoon 4 is going to be
when that's going to come out?
120?
I kind of feel like it will be, or at least it makes sense to be. I feel like they could have done Splatoon 3 at 120, but it would have been such a competitive advantage for Switch 2. It doesn't make sense to do that. So I think Splatoon 4 though will most likely go for that. They kind of play it up as a competitive game quite a bit as well.
That's true.
So that to me would make sense.
Sorry to cut you off, Scott. Do we have guesses on Metroid's release date? I'm thinking like November-ish at this point.
Oh yeah.
Man, I think October. I think they do it in October.
That lines up with Pokemon. I guess they could do 2 in a month if they separate them.
I'd like to.
And where do you put Kirby? Where do you put Hyrule?
Yeah.
Hyrule,
Does anyone care
yeah,
about
Hyrule, I
Kirby
don't know.
writers?
I think they're gonna end up with a game in like that last 10 day or the first 10 days of December. I feel like that last holiday week almost they're gonna get a game in there, and they've done that before. Smash Brothers lined up there, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 lined up there. So I think maybe it could be Kirby. Maybe that falls into it.
There are so many things that we don't know about right now, and we're about to hit August. I do feel like a direct is around the corner.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
I think they want to put out Donkey Kong, and then after that, I think we'll start to get some info. I think they're just solely focused on Donkey Kong right now.
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean,
then next is Drag X Drive, and they're going to want to
game of the year.
You think that'll get its own direct and the Nintendo Direct Drag X Drive?
You know what? I respect that game a lot more, knowing that it's a $20 eShop game, and that's pretty much it. They're just like,
I feel like that could also have been a pack-in game, just because it utilizes those mouse controls.
Well, that could have been it could have been a much bigger game than what it is, but they just make it like these faceless Android-looking things.
Right.
Yeah, the arts,
I don't. And that's it.
I've been complaining about that. The art style is so drab and boring and gray. I don't know why they... Where's the color? Look at ARMS. The color in ARMS.
Yeah, they could have made it. And ARMS also had a problem with content. Like, it just didn't have enough of it, especially at launch. But, like... I mean, like, you can add more character to it. You can add more arenas, interesting gimmicks, all that stuff. And like, I don't. It just doesn't really seem like it has a.
I feel like they're setting it up to fail when it could have been really something.
I think it'll be good enough because everybody. I think
it's time to shine.
I think it'll be good enough because it's just everybody wants to do something with their new console. And it's
how many people are going to commit to but the way
you welcome tour is so high up on those charts,
but the way you have to play it, it's such a commitment. Like you have to
don't you want to try out those damn mouse controls?
Yeah, I think the moment they did the treehouse and they were going to show off Drag X Drive, and they were like, "We'll be right back," as we all move to another room and set up mouse pads at a table, and it's like, what?
It's like the virtual reality commitment of it all. It's like, do I want to play that game? I got to go and like set up at the table, and I got to get ready, or I could just load up Smash again,
I like the mouse controls a lot of the Joy-Con. I think they're pretty slick, but. I do agree that like you can use your thighs kind of, but like that's like if like it's just it doesn't work that well. I mean, like for like a quick thing, if you need to quickly use the mouse, you can use
on the menu.
Hold on, I'll show you what I've been doing. I gotta find it. Also, my feet are out. Don't clip it.
Okay.
You want to know what I've been doing? I've been using the kickstand as a handle. I think it's the GameCube.
Really?
Yeah, it works pretty well when I'm moving it around the house, especially because the Switch 2 is a little bigger. So you just hold it by the handle.
All right, here you got to do, Scott. You get one of these. You see one of these?
What in the world? It's a little table.
You go like this.
Oh
Right?
man,
Is
I
this
wish I
3D
had that on
printed?
my legs all the time.
Yeah, right. And like I said, I've been playing Fortnite like this. You know how many dubs I've been getting at night with my thigh mouse pad?
I can tell. You don't even have to tell me you've been getting dubs.
Is that
you.
is that
Thank you for
3D
noticing.
That's
printed?
been getting them.
Yeah, I've been 3D printing things like crazy over here,
I
especially
bet,
Switch accessories.
dude, I bet if you sold those, like,
Oh, probably, but you know, who has the time?
right?
No, it's for a video. I'm doing a like weird accessory video, and I actually like it a lot. You have to
'cause
lower. You have to
people
lower
post
the
a lot of-
sensitivity because this thing glides. But
Oh, look at that. Yeah. You got to
I'm
put like
surprised they haven't done an officially licensed mouse.
I'm surprised that wasn't a day one Nintendo accessory. A
mouse pad,
mouse.
yeah.
Like what are they thinking?
Be like the Mario Paint mouse pad.
Yeah.
Did you put any like felt or anything on the bottom of that mouse?
Yeah, there's little grooves for it. I just
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been
I was
lazy.
that might help. Yeah, a little bit of felt. Like
Yeah.
go up to the store, just cut some out.
yeah, I should.
But
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I mean, Drag X Drive is a month away. The way that they presented it, digital only, $20. Go to the eShop, pick it up. They don't even have like a main character they're marketing
I'm
for.
gonna
I
have to
kind of
get-
feel like,
I'm gonna have to print another one for that because I'm gonna have to have two.
oh yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like that's just a game they're kind of throwing out there, and that another big game could fall into August, and it wouldn't be a huge deal for them. So I would like to think that Metroid Prime is. I don't think it's August, but
They got your Kirby. You got your Kirby
Please.
Switch 2 edition. That's probably
Yeah,
what they
that's true.
consider their August game alongside Drag X Drive.
Oh man,
And then September and all the other months are open for business. Who cares?
I gotta get Metroid Prime 4 sooner rather than later. That was a June 2017 announcement.
Yeah, it's
I
been a
First time we
little
like
saw
that.
it was June 2024.
Yeah, I'd like to
Been a
see that game
while.
come out soon. I almost wonder if they're gonna randomly just drop it on Nintendo's Today app. Hey, Metroid Prime 4 is out this day. It's like, oh, okay, well, there you go. Just to get the ball rolling on that one. But you're right, there are a lot of games coming up. We just don't have release dates for. So a direct
There's a direct coming for sure.
makes sense. Next week, you mentioned,
At some
Scott,
point,
Donkey Kong Bonanza's out. Seems like Nintendo's focused on that. The following week, there's a Pokemon Presents on the 22nd.
Oh.
Cares about that? Nothing.
Yeah,
There's
that's
gonna be
always
nothing.
That's always nothing. It's always mobile
Cafe
games.
remix. Pokemon
Yeah.
Champions. I see that on
Pokemon
the
Unite.
Switch 2's eShop.
Pokemon Sleep.
It's just gonna
Pokemon
be-
trading card game, the little app, the new one.
But the last week in July kind of would make sense if they wanted to, because I feel like you wait too long and you go, okay, well, hold on. When are they going to make these release
Never.
dates? A week, a month before they come out. So the last week of July would, I think, line up for that.
I mean,
if
they
that's
could
what they
do
want
it
to
early August, but I feel like they've always done summer, June, July directs, especially July. July is a big direct month. In fact, I did a spreadsheet recently. I think I've lost it of direct months, and the July is never missed. They've always done a July.
Yeah, it would make. I think it would make sense then. I mean, unless they really
I
want to
think-
do one next week and just throw everyone off. But
Nah, this is my theory. I think they are probably going to announce a release date or two on Nintendo Today or on social media for September. One game is going to come out in September, and I mean, we've barely seen anything of Kirby. We haven't seen anything of Kirby. We haven't seen. I think Kirby Air Ride is probably going to get its own direct because it's Sakurai. But I feel like we're going to get a game slated for September or no game for September, and I think our next direct is going to be in September. That's where we're going to get stuff.
I can see that too. Yeah.
Sean, how you feel about the sports games that are coming back?
Well, initially I was upset because 2K messed it up and said that the Switch 2 version wasn't the 9th gen version, which would put it on parity with Series X and PS5 and Steam. But they corrected that. So, cautiously optimistic. NBA 2K, when it first came out on the Switch, was cool because it was the only way to play an NBA game portably, but it never really grew beyond that initial version. They added in stuff, but the core game was still the same. The frame rate was still the same. So I'm cautiously optimistic about 2K, NBA 2K for the Switch 2, since it is in line with the PS5 and the Xbox Series editions. I think the small snippet that we've seen of WWE 2K25 looks pretty good as well. I'll be picking that up. And then you also have Madden, which is kind of a big mystery because they haven't shown anything, but that's supposed to have parity with the other version. So, you know, it's good to have those things, whether you play them or not, because millions of people do play them every single year. So to not be represented, to go from not being represented on a system or underrepresented like WWE 2K18 was on the Switch 1 to now, you know, having those 3 games right there, I think that's a good thing.
You've been calling for Madden to come back for a bit now. So you're finally getting your Madden game.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pick it up for the video, but you know, Madden kind of sucks anyways.
I mean, yeah, it does.
I mean, NBA 2K kind of sucks too nowadays, because that's what happens when you have a monopoly and you have one company making the game. But you know, keep pushing for those that one overall system, and then everyone makes games for the system. I'm sure it'll work out. Just fantastic.
NBA 75 gigs now. I switched to storage, getting eaten up pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna need another card like tomorrow.
I got the 1 terabyte Lexar one. I've just found one on eBay. I was just like, let's just do this.
How much
was that?
250. It was like 250.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
It's just like good. For 1 terabyte. Yeah.
It's when you think about the situation that we're in with like having to buy a 450 system and then a 250, which is like literally half the cost of the whole console on this little microchip. Like what?
I think what's annoying. I think what's extra annoying about the a lot of the game key cards and the digital only stuff is the fact that these games are so big. And it's just like after like 4 games or something, you're built up, and like the micro SD cards that are readily available are just another 256 gigs. And even like if you system transfer and you have all your Switch 1 stuff, like it's just like
who wants to switch out SD cards and like remember which files were on which file? Like that's not practical. You have one SD card, and then you have to delete things if it's full.
Right.
In my opinion, I mean,
I had 2 on the original Switch when it first came out because there wasn't any like decent sized ones, but I ended up just deleting stuff, and because it was like I don't want to mess around with this.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
What would be kind of interesting is if they had added a second SD card slot to the Switch 2, because there are some systems out there that just have 2 SD card slots, so you can use 2 smaller.
Well, I think Nintendo's mentality is why would we do that when they would just do what Scott the Woz did and
well, yeah,
buy a 250,
buy a scalped SD card on eBay. Yes.
You mentioned the game key card thing. That's been a hot button topic by quite a bit. Some people are really, really against them. Some people are just kind of indifferent, and they're like, "What are you gonna do?" that's kind of. I
have a lot of thoughts. I was texting Sean about it actually the other night.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
Sean's
a little against the grain on that. Yeah,
my biggest issue, and I was telling Sean this. Well, and I have a lot of issues, but I think one that people don't think about is like, yeah, Nintendo is saying games just don't fit on the cartridges these days. That's why we had to do game key cards. But there are legitimately games that do, right? Like on Switch 1, you had all the indies. You had the Stardew, the Hollow Knight, the Dead Cells, all of those games that were $20, $30 a pop that were great to add into the collection. It was great for a general consumer to walk into GameStop or Best Buy and be like, oh, what's Dead Cells? I picked that up, and then find one of the best games. And you want to talk about game preservation, the whole game's on the cart because the games are like 5-10 gigs. But Nintendo has eliminated that possibility now. And what are those indie devs going to do? They're either going to have to buy a game key card, which no one wants, or it's digital only. And now we don't get those games physical anymore. And I think knocking them out of the equation entirely, I think, is a real big issue and an unfortunate problem for the Switch 2's library moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, that you said that medium size or even the smaller size. Like that,
because what are they going to do?
Like or an 8 gigabyte,
$20-$30 game, they're going to spend $15 on a 64 gig cart.
Yeah, 17. All of a sudden they're Yeah, well, either way, all of a sudden their game turns into like a $40 or $50 game.
Exactly.
At
So either the
least.
consumer suffers or the developer, I would say suffers, but they just won't do it. I don't understand why Nintendo don't offer even like a 15 gig cart or a 10 or it's just something smaller.
Well, they
So,
have goes what 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 was the Switch one, correct?
Yeah, it was about that. Yep. Mm.
So, I mean, it's kind of like what I said. My reply to Wood was, I don't think they care. I really don't, because
It
their
doesn't seem like it.
their first party games are always going to fit on a cartridge. So they've always kind of been weird when it comes to third parties, almost like, you know, and I understand they've been working with them, but it's almost always felt like, oh, you should be honored to be on our system. You know, however you have to make it work, you make it work, this, that, and the other. I think they just look out for themselves. They look out for their games, and then whatever you have to do to make it work, figure it out, pal.
How did that work out for the Wii U though?
I mean, you could look at, you know, historically speaking, the N64. Every third-party developer was like, hey, don't do cartridges. And they're like, no, we're going to do cartridges. And then we're going to charge you to buy this cartridge. So your game is going to be $70 or $80 compared to our game, which is only going to be $60. And like, you know, it's always felt like that attitude never quite left, you know?
I mean, I can't argue with it because it's happening.
So what I kind of want to see is Nintendo. So right now, you're right, Sean. They do have a lot of their first party games on cartridges. So you mentioned Mario Kart World, which, to be fair, is supposed to be an $80 game on cartridge. I know a lot of people got it through bundles when you bought the Switch 2. But we have like Kong Bonanza coming up. That's $70. I kind of want to see Nintendo with a full cartridge release with like a $50 tier game to see if they do that. Because then all of a sudden the 64 gigabyte cartridge that we believe is a more expensive cost, will they actually do that for a $50 game? Like,
I mean, you'd have to
an
imagine,
MEO, for example.
You have to imagine they get the cartridges at cost, right? Because they make them.
Right. I would assume they get them cheaper.
Them. Yeah.
Yes. But I would like to see them attempt that, because all we've seen so far are $70 full cartridge releases. So
or
I'm
80.
Curious if they're
I'd be impressed with a 60 at this rate. I don't, you know, I think
kind of.
I honestly think a lot of those games, like, I know, I assume you're alluding to things like Metroid Prime Remastered and stuff. I don't know if I would expect that to get a physical release.
A Pikmin 1 and 2?
I don't know that I would expect that to get a physical release.
I feel like here's another thing too. If because Nintendo are telling their third party devs or whatever, like the game key cards are fine. Like this is the alternative because games are too big these days. I'd like to see Nintendo release a game on a game key card then. If they're so confident in it, if it's so great and all, and it saves money, why not?
Because their games never hit those ridiculous sizes, and I don't know if they ever will.
Neither does Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Well, right, but you know, if they, okay, I see what you're saying with it, but yeah,
Are you going to force Puyo Puyo to do game key cards? Why can't Mario Kart World be on a game key card? Oh, is it because it wouldn't sell as well? Probably.
Could you imagine an $80 game key card? I feel like that's kind of one of their justifications. Like, oh, we have to make our games, our baseline games 70 instead of 60 now, and some have to be 80 because, you know, game key card. And it's like, oh, okay.
We're probably gonna see $120 something game key card with like Borderlands 4 or something coming out, like with its like super deluxe edition or something.
I wouldn't be surprised. Real fans would pay for it.
It does seem like, I mean, Nintendo appears to be aware of it, as they were asked during their investors Q&A, but it was mostly just, we're going to work with third parties and kind of just press on.
They were like not only asked, they were pretty pressed and shamed.
Yeah,
by
they kind of were
by the developers, saying that it was what was it? Did you have the quote in front of you from that one guy? It's okay.
I can get it, but it was something to the tune of, "Hey, people seem kind of annoyed with it. What's the plan?"
Yeah,
we're gonna work with third parties, and
they mentioned game preservation to Nintendo. They were like, "This seems like a pretty terrible choice by you, and it will affect game preservation."
That's why we have emulators.
Sorry, I get it. ranty about the game key card situation. We can talk about some fun stuff.
I mean, I think a lot of people are interested in the idea of that because even like today, there was what I thought was a pretty standard survey that was sent out by Nintendo asking people how they feel about game key cards, and that just made headlines immediately. Just people were like, "Oh, look, Nintendo's asking people."
I think there are more people upset about it than people realize.
I think there are more people online definitely upset about it. I need to see what I need to see is, all right, I'll give you an example. I need to see a game that comes out that is that title that you can't miss, right? It's like a can't miss game, but it's a game key card.
Like
right?
I think people would just buy it digitally. Like I think
so
that's what I'm wondering.
I think that's what I did with Yakuza and Street Fighter. Like I'm just like, yeah, I get it. A game key card is like, okay, like I can sell it later on. That's work, bro. I don't want to sell it. Like,
I know.
I just don't want to think about it. I'm just like, I'm just gonna buy it digitally at that point, and then I don't have to put the stinking cartridge in the system when it's already taken up 50 gigs on this thing. I don't care. And like I feel like a lot of casual consumers, they'll buy one game key card and they don't know what it is. They put it in their system. They go like, wait, I gotta download this 50 gigs. What is this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna buy everything digitally then. Like that's what I think. That's what a lot of casual people.
I mean,
do.
I went to the midnight launch and I was interviewing people in the line on my live stream and talking to people, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm not buying any other third-party games. They're all game key cards." Like that was the sentiment at launch. You know, I don't know. For general consumers, I mean, those are all people that are excited for day one and they're like, you know, in tune with video games and Nintendo, obviously. But I don't know how it shakes out when like mom and dad go to buy a game at GameStop.
Yeah, I think you gotta wait. You gotta wait like
you
gotta wait like 6 months to a year to see.
Like,
I think this you know, your Madden might be kind of interesting, you know, because as far as the split is concerned, obviously the PlayStation version is going to sell best, but I'm kind of curious to see how Switch 2 versus Xbox does in terms of, you know, what the disparagement is. I would assume that Xbox would be bigger, but a lot of people don't buy Xbox games, so you know we gotta kind of wait and see.
It's almost like the inverse problem with Xbox, because Xbox first party, they don't care about physical or like putting their stuff out on physical.
Oh
really.
no, that's not
Nintendo at least cares about that. But the third parties on Xbox are a little more likely. You know, like you see more third party physical games on Xbox these days compared to first party Microsoft stuff. And I feel like it's the opposite with Nintendo. So, you know, I think it's definitely going to kind of shift people on Switch too to be more digital, or they just don't really, but I think those first party games will still do decently well physically.
So Duskblood, as you mentioned, with the FromSoft game coming out for the Switch 2 is one I figure it's a game key card. Who knows? Nintendo might be working with them and maybe they get it on a 64 gig cartridge. And it's fine from there. That's one of those can't miss games that I'll be curious if people just accept the game key card or they just go digital. Because I think that's the big thing. It's not that people won't buy it. It's that they'll opt to just go digital, which then takes them down the path of why am I buying these cartridges anyway then? You know, and then we just kind of get away from the physical media.
That'll be a good test for sure. I mean, Elden Ring is a game key card, right? So it might be
that's what the packaging has shown us, yeah.
But also Is Duskblood's online only? So it's an online multiplayer only game.
I thought it still had like
sometimes at that point I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, if it's online only, with online only games, I don't even think physical matters. Like it's just like, yeah, it's great that you own it, but it's also like it's gonna go offline someday. So it's just
no. I mean, I bought Destiny physical for PlayStation because I wanted to own it, but I guess that mentality is shifting.
Yeah.
We also have to remember, you know, if you look at the sales data from this year versus last year with 18 to 24-year-olds, people are buying less video games in general. Like the generation that's coming up, yes, there are some of them that appreciate physical, but a vast majority of them, they don't know anything about that because your Fortnite, you know, you download it. Yeah, they don't care.
Video games are just like, they don't care about them like that. They're just like, oh, that game looks cool. I'll try it out.
So I think it's a lot deeper than people realize like not everyone is 30 or 40
We definitely
years
are
old.
the last generation of people that are
It's-
going to care.
It's funny you mentioned that though, because like as my kids are getting older and becoming more aware and more interested in games, so like they're really into Minecraft and stuff. But if I get any of these older systems down, let's just say original Xbox, I'm looking at it. I put, hey, let me show you, the back of the day here for me. And I plug the controller in. They're confused immediately why the controller has to be plugged in. They don't get it because there's a cable on it. They have no idea why the controller is corded.
That's
right?
bizarre.
All they know are wireless controllers and flat screen TVs. They don't understand CRT and wired controllers. And it's just so weird to think about that. But you're right in the sense that the generation now that's coming up will have no idea about that. And they also won't really think about CDs, DVDs, anything that's going into the system.
My son was just born. He's not going to give two squats of piss about any of this.
That's the thing. A lot of that won't really even be a thought for them.
There are things for us that we don't think about. Like we stream music all the time. It's so convenient and easy and download it and everything. And the generation above us were like CDs, vinyl records. Like
you don't have your cassette tapes still? What the hell?
Cassette tapes, yeah. And they won't stream music, They're upset about music streaming. So like, yeah,
Hey, vinyl's back. People love vinyl. People love physical.
Do they really love vinyl, or
they like owning it?
Or is there just some weird trend?
I actually own it. Kim and I have a vinyl collection.
I think the thing is, people are more emotionally attached to their music, and I think they're more likely to be like, I would like to own this album and this album art, and it's kind of just something to put on their shelf. But with video games, I think casual consumers view video games a little more disposably. Kind of just like, like look at Call of Duty. It's just like nobody cares about last year's Call of Duty. It's this one, and then it's on to the next one and the next one. And,
I think in the sense of game key cards, though, as people are trying to figure out what kind of a pushback there really is, there'll be a bit of a lagging effect, I think, as we go through the holiday season, and people will understand it more when it comes up as an inconvenience to them. So one example I could come up with is, let's say I bought a game key card before I went away for a few days this past week, thinking I'm going to get this game. I'm not thinking about it being a game key card or not. All right. Let's say I pick up Street Fighter. I'm like, oh, some fun, some downtime when I'm in the hotel room or something. And I go to pop it in and it needs to download 50 or 60 gigabytes, something like that. My hotel download was 6 down. 7 down, something like that. It's not happening. It's not coming together. So now I have a game that's just not going to work. At that point, maybe I become more aware of the game key card situation. But I think the mainstream kind of has to experience that inconvenience on their own to have it has to meaningfully impact their life before they really start paying attention to it. So it's something I think we'll be able to tell more of as we get more releases in like a year going through holiday time period.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're right, Wood. You talk to a lot of people who are very plugged in at the the midnight release. They know what's happening there. But mom and dad, holiday season, December or something, they're just buying. They just what's the Switch 2? Okay, I'll buy some games. All right, that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see from there. But getting away from the game key card thing, I do want to talk very quickly about the NSO with GameCube. Okay. I think it's awesome. I've had a blast with it, except for one thing. The online has been kind of touchy, as we've experienced multiple times. Mario Strikers went in recently, tried playing it, struggled with the super shots. That was the biggest tell that we were always kind of behind on them. But I've got a kick out of the GameCube. The controller, I think, is awesome. The wireless controller, it's really well done. And now I'm kind of in the mindset of, okay, which game is going in next? It's actually something I'm looking forward to now each month as to which one they're going to drop in.
I really haven't played much of it. At launch week, I smashed Soul Calibur. Like, I went hard on Soul Calibur. And the online, which I actually thought the online for that was pretty stable.
Soul Calibur?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Brett and I played some matches. It was decent. But yeah, Strikers, I guess because it was 4 people. And it was weird because I assume we were all Ethernet. At least I was. Maybe MVG was on wireless.
I was wired.
I was Wi-Fiing when I was doing Soul Calibur.
I did that too. I was actually down here in the basement where I don't have a great signal, and it was fine. But when we played Strikers, man, like you could not hit a super shot, and no one is doing anything different, and the connection just cripples. It almost feels like it's based on how many people are playing online. So I assume a game like F-Zero, if you're doing 4 people, you're probably not having a great time with that.
No, because then we played locally offline, like me and one of the kids, and it was fine. We were able to do a lot of super shots and everything else without any issues. So that's the only thing is the online, man, is you just don't know what you're gonna get when you hop on. And games like F-Zero and Strikers, even Soul Calibur, if it's not good in terms of online experience or even decent, it's not gonna be a great experience for you. So I've just had a kick out of it, just starting it up, playing some of these GameCube games. I started replaying Wind Waker, and I'm like, I mean, I've done this a couple of times, but it is good to see it here. Even though the ending, I know
I gotta say something.
Oh boy,
I really don't like that game.
Oh, man. Think of the GameCube Online, because I can't get into that right now with RGT.
I played 2 hours of Wind Waker.
Yeah,
that's the main one that I played. Yeah, I like Wind Waker.
What?
All right, Sean.
I want to hear Sean's opinion.
Oh, I was just kidding.
I think that is for a mainline Zelda. I consider that to be a bottom tier game.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh man,
I liked it back in the day. Playing
you?
Through it again, I played.
I bit my tongue while you were trashing Yakuza, but I cannot sit here.
4 or 5 hours into it, I'm just like, I don't like this.
I will say one thing. I always hate that game starts with the stealth mission. It's that's such a handbrake. It's so dumb. But as soon as you get through that game's a blast.
I don't know.
I like the sailing. I like the openness to it. I don't know. It's such a cool exploration concept.
Like I don't think it's like a bad game. I just think in the realm of all like mainline Zelda games, for me, I would rather play most of the others instead.
Which ones? Like where if you do a tier list, how far down is Wind Waker?
I mean, I would rather play Wind Waker.
So what about Skyward? Where's Skyward Sword for?
Okay, which version?
Any.
I think the Switch version was much more enjoyable for me because I didn't have to do the stupid motion controls. Overall, it's a good game. I would say I'd probably put it on par with Wind Waker, and I would put those above like the original Zelda and Link's Awakening or the Zelda 2.
I think Twilight Princess is probably the ultimate like traditional 3D Zelda game.
Yes, I love that game.
Yeah. When we're ranking it, it's funny because I do agree with you. It's further down than those other ones. It's just the trashing it and saying that it's bad that I don't like.
Yeah, it's like these are all really good, like 90+ score Metacritic games. But then you take all of that away, you're like, okay, now where are they in place against
the only Zeldas I feel that passionately about as him is the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. I hate those ones.
See, I wasn't. Yeah, I'm not considering those as mainline because that Wind Waker would be above those. Phantom Hourglass was okay. Spirit Tracks was just weird.
I feel like we might get remakes of those on Switch too with the mouse controls.
I would try a remake. I would.
I think the mouse. I think if you have to do those controls, I think a mouse would be much better.
That is interesting, actually. I never thought about that. That could be really cool. I'm hoping we get an Ocarina remake. I'm kind of getting more and more sold on that idea.
That'd give us DS games.
Oh, like on the NSO.
It's good. You got the microphone now,
bro.
You can plug in the camera if you're doing some dumb
you can
stuff.
Game share to another screen, so you could do 2 screens if you
get
connect
out of
to
here
the
with that. Nobody's gonna do. Okay, I have not done anything with game share. That thing, like, I just see so many mixed results.
I tried
using it a couple times.
Yeah, I tried it one time. She's been obsessed with Mario Kart, right? And there was one night she was heavy into it, and I was like, Kim, take a break. We're loading up Toad Treasure Tracker, and we're gonna do game share between our 2 Switch 2s. We loaded up. It was insufferably unplayable. She was right next to me on the couch, and her screen was so laggy. She would like go left, and then half an hour later, she would turn right. It was unplayable. We couldn't even play one level.
The idea is kind of cute, but I also think it was always a little confusing. Like even when they talked about it initially, I was like, okay, I kind of get this. Like it's like DS download play, but it's not really. It's streaming it.
Right.
Streaming it, yeah.
And it's just like they said they reused the Wii U's technology, but the Wii U wasn't that bad.
No, also I don't think that's how the Wii U worked, was it?
I mean, you stream to the controller.
Well, yeah, the Wii U was fine then. It wasn't like that.
It'll work. But
No,
the
I
Wii U's
actually-
gamepad was like 240p or something. So
I don't know
Yeah.
how I missed it. Maybe I just didn't care. But that whole game sharing feature really passed me by. Like the Switch 2 was out when I realized, oh yeah, I can game. That's a thing I can do. What game does that?
Well, you tried it with Fast Fusion online, didn't you, John?
Yep, I tried it with. So I remember I did it through online. I think Nate and MVG tried it because I wanted to try different connections just to see how they would go. Neither of them were great. And then I also tried it from the Switch 2 to the Switch 1 using Fusion. That was the same thing. It just wasn't good. But then I tried Switch 2 to Switch 2 locally, and that was good. So I don't know if it's just something between Switch 2 and Switch 1. I also tried it with Mario 3D World because you can do up to 4 people, I believe, game share that.
yeah,
And the Switch 2 version was fine. Like you have a Switch 2 there, that was better. The Switch 1 just struggles constantly.
Take off
for me for
your
some
2
reason.
controllers. Just play on the same screen. Who cares? With a lot of these games that have game share, they're already local multiplayer, and like the whole thing with the Switch is that you can take off the stupid controllers and play it on the same screen. I don't know.
I like the idea of getting.
I
your own
like that a
screen.
lot. It's
So
fun.
satisfying.
I feel like wouldn't it work better if like the other player had to download the game and then you just like stream it that way, but like the download was free?
Or download like a portion of it, like
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
or
how
something.
the DS did it, you know.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
games are too
Well, yeah.
big now. Maybe like it would just be like.
yeah. Those
Too much.
Nintendo games aren't.
Toad Treasure Tracker can't be that big.
I want to say that's like.
I mean, like even if it's like
that's
4
a
gigs, I
15
mean, like
giga at
like
best.
I don't know. It takes a second for whatever 4 gigs to
Data
transfer
transfer.
anywhere. So you know.
It's 1.6 gigs. Toad Treasure Tracker.
Dude,
Okay.
come on.
Well, yeah.
Download Toad Treasure Tracker.
All right, you
Game
got
rules
me.
ass, by the way.
Has the magnet attachment stuff gotten old for you guys yet?
No, far from it.
Okay.
No,
Some
but I
people
barely
show that
do
you
it.
can literally just rip it off if you give enough force. I tried that a little bit. That's kind of fun. Don't you
I-
just
Just rip
release
it off.
one. Yeah,
I
you
have
you can rip it off. If
I have
you
the
pull
Pro
hard enough.
controller, so I barely ever
Okay.
actually take them off.
How
Pro
you feel about
controller
Pro
is
controller?
surprisingly amazing. I thought
It's
that
awesome.
the Pro controller is fantastic. I
It's
was not
really good.
expecting because it looks the exact same, but it's
It
great.
just feels better. The texture on it's better,
Mhm.
and the back buttons. I really like back buttons.
The sticks are the big thing for me, and like the back buttons are like really nice. Like they're impossible to hit accidentally, which is crazy.
Yeah, and
they
the
just feel good.
mapping the buttons to the software side. So like you load up Cyberpunk, it'll remember what 2 buttons you like,
Yeah.
and then so on and so forth.
Very quick.
Yeah, it's cool.
I put like run. I think I put the run button in Zelda on one of the back buttons, and
Mhm.
you know that's been kind of
that
fun.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you pinched yourself with the magnet yet?
No.
No, I'm
No?
not a
What?
child, John.
Huh?
Oh,
Where?
that was the whole
People,
thing.
people who are
Where?
doing that
What?
are trying to do
That was
it.
the whole thing.
Oh, I had my
Pinched
Switch
where
to
and how?
Joy-Con and it
Like if you have your
pinched my
finger up against
penis.
it,
Like, what are you doing?
your
Oh,
finger
my
against the back of it, it'll
foreskin.
pinch. There's a whole article for that.
You slip and fall, and that happens.
My nipple. I don't know what happened. I just had it up to my chest.
Are you guys
Just like-
hold on, are you guys playing in dock mode or handheld mode more?
Docked.
I dock as much as I can, which is a funny thing to say. Right after the foreskin joke.
John,
We ain't
that's
getting
that's
away
fine
from
over
that.
John's head.
Yeah, as much as I can, because the dock now does so much more than the old one did. Like getting that 4K on the TV and everything. Like I feel like if I really want to see how the game looks, I have to dock it now. Whereas before I would stick to the handheld because it looked nicer.
I mostly dock for gameplay capture purposes, but like if I'm, I've been doing a couple like, maybe before bed I'll play like Mario Kart Knockout Tour or something.
Oh,
and
bedtime is
try
handy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And like I've done some GameCube stuff and it's just some stuff here and there in handheld mode. Nothing that crazy, but I'd say I'm 75% docked.
Yeah,
I had to play a
which
lot
is-
of handheld recent. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I was gonna say like on the Switch 1, I was probably like 75-80% handheld,
Yeah.
and now it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, I've
Like,
switched as well. I agree.
I got a new monitor for downstairs that does 4K 120 hertz, just so when I'm down here playing it, it looks nice and stuff. So yeah, I've definitely been enjoying docked mode because the games look a lot better than they did on the Switch 1.
I
Yeah,
haven't
they
used
definitely
any game chat or the camera at all.
The camera sucks, but game chat's kind of lit. I think it's mad decent for what it does. Like you could literally have your Switch 2 on the other side of the room, and it'll just pick up your voice.
I really like game chat. I agree the camera sucks and it's impractical, but
yeah. But game
I
chat
just don't understand why that's just not built in at that point. Like just have a tiny camera on top of the screen.
I got this guy, which is a bit goofy, but this guy, and then you can unplug it and put it straight in. So when you're playing in handheld mode.
I
did that one night.
I don't understand why the Nintendo made one doesn't do that.
Yeah, I don't either. Seems like a lack of foresight on that. Also, this is Hori, and Hori made another one that does the exact same thing, but it doesn't
smaller,
look.
right?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Piranha Plant. It's like a little black camera.
Well, why wouldn't you buy the Piranha Plant one? You have to buy that one.
Why? Look at the one I'm holding, John.
Well, they both 480p.
Yes. Yeah.
High quality.
This is the privacy filter, so it makes up for everything. Yeah.
I got one off of Amazon that I'll be doing because I bought a bunch of shit off of Amazon, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, look, I bought a bunch of crap. Let's see if any of it's decent. And it's like the Piranha, but it's like a sunflower, and it has no closing on it. But it was like $15, and I was like, I'll try it.
I got the Logitech 4K Brio to work.
Oh, like this webcam I'm using works great on it.
Is that what that is?
No, it's the Logitech C920. I've had this forever, but I just plug it in, USB on the side, boom, works great.
I 3D printed a little mount so it sits flush on top of my.
Of course,
for a video I'm working on. I'm 3D printing everything.
3D printer now.
This thing I keep holding, 3D printed that too.
I feel like I would light my house on fire with a 3D printer. So.
No, it's so much fun. It was so daunting when I first got one. Now I'm 3D printing everything.
Okay. Game chat is definitely better than I was expecting because it was presented as we made our own Discord, and it kind of is still that, but it's set up really well to just work in random situations.
One of the first nights we all had the Switch 2. It was the three of us and MVG, and we were in a four-way. Docking four-way with our foreskins, and we were all streaming different games, and you know, playing, and we were talking, and it was all local to the system. We weren't doing cameras, but there's all like microphones built in, and that was nice. We sat there for an hour, and I could see what everyone was doing. I know it's 15 frames, but like, do I really need to see all of your gameplay in 60 frames while I'm playing a game? Not really. Would it be nice? Yes, but is it necessary? Not really.
No, and it's like some people are in dock mode, some people are in handheld mode, and it all kind of functions together.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how that all.
It was cool, even like
headsets or
you were doing all kinds of things. You were switching between all kinds of games, and when you went back to the home menu, I could see your home menu, which is funny to me. I almost feel like it would be not surprising to me. They lock it to be just the games, but no, I could see everything you were doing.
Yeah, I think I was doing like testing like backwards compatible games and stuff, just trying things out to see how they run, which I mean, that's a big feature for it too. I don't know how many games you guys went back and checked. I know, Sean, you did a video on it, just kind of trying some things. 2K18 was a big one, WWE, but are there any games you guys went back and you were like, all right, this is it. I gotta see how this runs on the Switch 2 right now.
My first one that kind of like, I did it and then I didn't do any more because it ruined. I was like, Monster Hunter Rise, because I was like, that was one of the best looking games on Switch 1. I want to know how it looks on Switch 2. And it's funny. I don't know how to explain it, but putting those games into a better resolution without an update makes them look so much worse.
It's in handheld mode. One in particular, it's going to stretch the image because most of them are tied to 720p. So yeah, that's definitely going to happen. 8-inch screen.
It looked awful.
Blows it up.
Like it literally, if I was to play it, I would want to play it on a Switch 1, not a Switch 2, because it looks better on Switch 1 in its native resolution.
And it's capped at 30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. It was an immediate. I was like, oh, so I can't just put in even nice games and have them look better without an update. Right. Got it.
Well, what's interesting is there are some games that are 1080p in handheld mode, and it's just for whatever reason it was left that way, and that's how they rendered on the Switch 1. So Hyrule Warriors, as an example, is 1080p in handheld mode, and now it's 1080p on the 8-inch display, and it's locked at 60. So that game actually looks very good in handheld mode.
Is that why it ran so badly?
Yes.
On Switch 1? Because it was forcing 1080 when it didn't need to? What's that oversight about?
I don't know. No one really knows, but that's just how they rendered it, and they left it that way. But now it's complete 60 frames locked, and it looks great because it's native to the 8-inch display on the Switch too.
Okay, well that's sick.
I think like Yu-Gi-Oh! There's like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that has its everything at 1080p as well, and it just looks clean on the 8-inch display. But for the most part,
you're gonna say 8-inch. God, you're obsessed with 8 inches, aren't you, pal?
You invited him. I want to remind you, John. You told him to come.
I would say Vampire was a pleasant surprise playing
on the 8-inch screen.
No, I played it in docked mode. My foreskin
on the 65-inch screen.
Oh, you know what's a good one? House of the Dead.
How many centimeters is that? Oh,
Jesus Christ! House of the Dead is because now it's 60, and for some reason
here we go with the 60 now
work better.
Gosh. Oh, with the motion control. People were saying that the motion controls are more sensitive or they detect better on the Switch too. So that
in my crappy Amazon pickups, I did buy a gun to holster the Switch 2 Joy-Con, so we're gonna see how that works too.
I'm looking forward to it.
You better watch it.
Did you try any Switch 1 games, Scott?
Let me think. I the first Switch 1 game I played was Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. I put that in.
That makes sense.
I needed footage of it, and I was
you gotta do.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I tried New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, like I said.
Yep.
A couple of games here and there I've dabbled in. Can't really remember a ton that were like oh yeah, like I really tried this, or I mainly watched like videos of like how a lot of the Switch 1 backwards compatibility stuff happens.
Did you try Mario Odyssey yet?
I think I booted it up and I was like, all right.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
The
game already ran fine on Switch 1, but like I saw I saw some comparisons online, and I saw that it's definitely a lot more, like when you compare the two side by side, you can definitely see a huge upgrade from like the fidelity from like far away stuff, and like when you're in New Donk City, like the civilians don't run at like 1 frame per second from like far away. I bought Civilization 7 on Switch 1 because I want to buy the Switch 2 upgrade pack. Because I don't want that version. I bought the Switch 1 because that's at least like something.
I know.
Because that's just a damn code.
I know. It's not even a game key card. It's a code.
Yeah, so I got the Switch 1 version, and then I'll just buy the Switch 2 upgrade. And either way, it would be cheaper because the Switch 1 version is like $45 now. So
this one and that one too is a code.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks, Joseph. Cheaping out on us.
If our Split Fiction's like what, 70 gigs?
That's crazy.
Game key card though.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one time I want a game key card.
So
yeah, at least like when it's like that, I'm like, sure.
If you get into Civ, let me know because I don't know anyone that plays it.
I've always enjoyed Civ.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the reviews for this one though?
I have not seen the reviews for the Switch 2 one or Civ 7.
I could tell you, but I don't want to.
That people don't like it.
People hate it. Go look at the Steam page.
Oh wow,
it's abysmal.
I wanted to try out the mouse controls though.
Yeah, I know.
So now going into the last thing here, big release next week, Donkey Kong Bonanza. How are we feeling about it?
I'm really excited. Really excited, especially now that we know it's Odyssey team.
Yeah, well, yeah. So people are concerned about that a little bit too, because they're like, oh no, no 3D Mario for a while. I think this is kind of
like the Nintendo executives are saying.
I think this is split off from the 3D Mario team. So I think there's a 3D Mario game still out there waiting in the wings. But the Donkey Kong Bonanza next week, I'm excited. What you said? You're excited?
Yeah, it came up quick too. I'm surprised it's next week already, but I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm seeing all these weird people online saying stuff like, man, Donkey Kong Bonanza should have been the launch title. It's like, it's a month away, bro.
It's month window.
It's a month, and also Mario Kart's the biggest game franchise Nintendo has. You
I
might
agree.
be tired of it by now, and you might have problems with it, but it's still a good game, and it's going to sell billions of copies.
Well,
This was the perfect way around of doing it. I mean, 3.5 million Switches sold. Why are we splitting hairs here?
So business reasons aside, in front of you right now is Donkey Kong Bonanza or Mario Kart. You haven't played either of them yet.
Mario Kart for a month.
No, you haven't played either of them yet. Which one are you picking up?
I'd probably play Mario Kart first, to be honest.
I think most people
I
would.
would at least
Mario
try it because
Kart,
I can immediately play it for like 10 minutes
Yes.
and be like, that's Mario Kart.
That's what I was going to say. You can dabble in it, and then you can be ready and locked in for Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing Donkey Kong, I'll probably play for a couple hours.
To your point, John, it is me going, I'm going to get the worst one out the way first. I know what you were going for. The Donkey Kong is the one I'd be more excited to play, for sure.
Okay.
Well, Donkey Kong, I always thought Donkey Kong looked great, but I still always am a little concerned about like it might like just with the gameplay style and stuff. It might end up being a little mindless / like a little too much. I know a lot of people were criticized Mario Odyssey for being like, oh, it's too much stuff, and this might be like, oh, there's random stuff hidden in this random block of mud that you would have never, you just have to destroy everything kind of thing. A little worried it might be a little mindless, but I feel like it's going to be a great game regardless.
I think based on the 20 minutes I played, if the whole game is like that, I agree with you, but I think it'll be like a weird, satisfying mindlessness where it's just so satisfying to keep mindlessly playing through the game. It's like addicting. That's what I was kind of getting out of that 20 minutes. I'm hoping there's more to the game. I actually refused to watch the direct because I didn't want spoilers.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Okay. There's a bunch of
lot
of content.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It seems like that. Like they have a lot of stuff they're throwing at you to keep you, as you mentioned, like the addictive nature to it. But there's a good sense of progression here that I wasn't necessarily expecting, is what I'll say. And it seems like that game where you're going to have so many things you have to do to then go to the next area or the next world. And there's just a ton of stuff that you leave behind you if you don't want 100% each thing right away. So I kind of feel like it's going to, like Mario Odyssey, you only need so many moons to beat the game, right? But then you can go back and just get a ton. It's going to be kind of like that, I think. So.
I'm excited.
What's the latest thing? I see a bunch of people saying online how the Switch 2 doesn't have any Switch 2 games since this game started as a Switch 1 game. See, people, I don't know. People are bored. They just want to say crap.
I haven't
because
seen
this
that
was one. Okay, so
people are saying it's just like, man, Mario Kart World started as a Switch 1
Well, that
game.
one I know.
Donkey Kong started as a Switch 1 game.
Like,
man, we don't see anything on Switch 2.
But didn't they start as Switch 1 games that couldn't be on Switch 1, and they were like, oh, we got to wait for Switch 2.
Just because it started on Switch 1, it's not a Switch 1 game. There's no Switch 1 version. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like you could make the case that Metroid Prime 4 is a Switch 1 game.
Oh, it is.
Because it is.
Yeah, that is. I mean, you ain't getting no 124K, all of that on a Switch 2 game.
But like Mario, so if Mario Kart World came out at 30 frames per second and like 600p or something, is that a great experience that you really want?
It'd be funny though. It'd be interesting.
And would it even be able to handle 24 racers, these larger worlds? We're not really sure, but they kind of said that they were running into roadblocks and they didn't really know what to do. And then they decided, okay, we're going to move to Switch 2 because it can do it.
Anything can work on any platform. You can port it to any platform. It's just going to be awful.
It might be stick figures, it might be like that. But Donkey Kong, the destruction mechanic, like that kind of part to it, where you're just breaking everything apart. I looked at that immediately and was like, I don't think that's running on the Switch
that's
1.
definitely like a next gen type physics thing happening there, and it's also a teeny bit laggy.
Yeah, I think we're gonna hear. I feel like we're gonna hear about that with reviews. It wouldn't shock me if it comes out and it's like, hey, the game does, like Digital Foundry will do the thing where you see
they're gonna find a dip down to like 15 or something, and now all of a sudden the article is gonna be Donkey Kong runs at 15 frames. Yep.
That'll absolutely happen. But I think it's gonna be a fun game. I think it's gonna do really well for Nintendo and reviews and stuff. I think it'll just be a good kind of that 1-2 punch, just almost in reverse order for the Switch 1, where we had Zelda and then Mario Kart, this time Mario Kart and like a Donkey Kong.
It's a fantastic early 1-2 punch, but there's like a 3-4-5 punch coming with Pokemon, Zelda, Metroid. There's so much.
I'll admit I'm the person who's
not that Zelda. I don't care about Hyrule Warriors.
Okay, well, let's at least give me the third punch with Pokemon. That's a big one.
The thing I didn't care about I did not care about Tears of the Kingdom story at all. I did not care about that thing. So it's just like the idea of a Warriors game being about the untold story of Tears of you're gonna have to show me more for me to get interested, really.
But Metroid. We're all good on Metroid.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, oh yeah, Metroid.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
I mean, Pokemon will sell like 20, 30 million
Yeah.
copies. But,
And it's on an actual cartridge. So
yeah.
there you go.
It's interesting that we're actually, because they usually don't do this with Pokemon. It usually takes like a year or two for them to jump over to the next system.
Yeah, that cross-gen period kind of helping them out here.
I don't really, I mean, like, unless you want to count like, I mean, Pokemon Gold and Silver were playable on Game Boy. Like, they were Game Boy Color games. But, I mean, I look back to, like, DS. I mean, you were getting Black and White 2 in 2012 when the 3DS was already, like, a year and a half old at that point, you know? So, it's cool that that there's a Switch 2 version of Legends.
So, I'm looking forward to the rest of the year for the Switch 2. I think the first month has been good, but got to see some of these other releases. But that's about an hour 15 or so. Just hanging out, talking about the Switch 2. Let me go around. You got to check out Wood, one of the founders of Nintendo podcast over on Beatemups, releasing 3D.
Why do you keep calling me that?
we got Scott the Waz. Check him out, of course. RGT85. Actually, you know what? I have to measure this. You might be on this screen on an 8-inch screen.
I knew you were gonna say something, weirdo.
I might have to check. But check out RGT85. He bought a bunch of stuff from Amazon. We'll see how that goes too. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
He bought a bunch of stuff from Amazon.
That's the premise of the video. He clicked add to cart and buy now and Prime ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll catch you guys next time.